Hello everybody, this is Johns Hopkins with Baltimore Heritage, and we're back with another of our 5-Minute Histories videos. And today I'm on Falls Road, just north of Cold Spring, and I'm at an organization called Springboard Community Services. They got their start 175 years ago here in Baltimore, still going strong with their mission of helping children and families in need. We're going to talk about that today, help them celebrate this really unbelievable milestone. I'm going to be joined by some folks from Springboard in a moment, but let's first turn back the clock to 1849 in Baltimore. That's when they got their start. In 1849, we were still a pretty young city. We had got our incorporation, our mayor and city council, in 1797, so about 50 years before, but we were a growing city. We had brick manufacturers, we had shipbuilders, we had the nation's first railroad, the B&O. We had all sorts of things that required human labor, and folks were flocking into Baltimore from small towns and countrysides all up and down the East Coast to find jobs. Often the transition from rural life to urban industrial life was not smooth. Workers were tied to the clock. They had to show up on time. It was often impossible to earn a little bit of extra income by raising a cow or a chicken. Family members, often even young children, were working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Really rough transitions. And into that void steps a gentleman named Elijah Stansbury. He is mayor of Baltimore in 1849, and he creates an organization called the Association to Improve the Condition of the Poor. It was the third of its kind in the country, and it was pretty novel. The organization raised money from wealthy Baltimore families. Think of the Garretts, B&O Railroad, or the Walters, whiskey trade, later art collecting, and used that money through the volunteers to buy things like food and heating fuel, shoes and clothes, rent. It also ran its own programs like sewing schools, teaching girls and women a valuable skill that they could use and go out and make money with, and work days for men, give them a broom, have them sweep city streets, for example, and at the end of the day get paid not in cash but in say food. Things were going along pretty well, and in 1910 the organization got an enormous boost of energy by merging with another charity called the Charity Organization Society. It had been founded 30 years before that by Daniel Coit Gilman, the legendary head of the new Hopkins University system. Gilman's approach was to try to bring professionals like doctors and educators to try to address poverty here in Baltimore. This new organization, this merger, went about things in what I think is, again, a novel way, including something called substitute mothers. They would have women go into families that had lost their matriarchs due to death or illness, and the substitute mother would do things like make sure the kids went to school. If there was no cooking utensils, go out and buy cooking utensils for the family. Sometimes they'd stay a week or two, sometimes they'd stay a month or longer. The idea was to have one person, the substitute mother, really be with the family until it got on its feet. If you're thinking that this sounds like social work, that's exactly what it was. After all, the person who is credited with founding the scientific methodology and really the foundation of the modern practice of social work was a woman named Mary Richmond. She got her start here in Baltimore with Gilman's Charity Organization Society. So we've got really deep roots here in Baltimore in social work. In the 1940s, the association merged again, becoming Family and Children's Society, the Family and Children's Society, and it expanded, kept its social work going, but also expanded into providing medical care, foster care for children, even another novel thing, marriage counseling for husbands and wives who needed that. I'm going to wrap up and say that many of us know this organization by its most recent prior name, Family and Children's Services of Central Baltimore. I know it because its headquarters before moving here on Falls Road was in Bolton Hill, my neighborhood, at Landvale and Park. So I used to walk past there every day. So I'm going to turn it over to the folks at Springboard by saying that after 175 years, a number of mergers, a number of name changes, expanding almost all the time, this great organization is continuing to do the work that was set out to do in 1849, which is help families in need. All right, I'm going to turn it over, and we're in good hands.
My name is FT Burden. I'm the CEO for Springboard Community Services, formerly Family and Children's Services of Central Maryland. As you've probably heard already, we are a human services organization whose primary focuses are behavioral health, case management, and housing. We serve about 10,000 people a year with 100 employees. So we've grown quite a bit from the time that we started, but are still very similar in the way that we operate in terms of looking to meet individuals' human needs. So we partner with them through mentoring and counseling and removing barriers to those things that prevent them from being their best selves. We have a great staff that's been really committed to providing access to individuals that are in need. We're known for our work in trauma, where we provide services to individuals who've been victims of physical abuse and severe sexual abuse and things of those natures. We're really excited about where we're going into the future as we hit our 175th year anniversary. Our focus has increased around serving homeless youth. An example is the SCS Youth Training Center. This is a new facility that we're in the process of developing, a $20 million endeavor, probably our most audacious to date, where we've acquired 2 historic buildings on East Lexington Street, a former site of the Frederick Douglass School. So it's kind of interesting that we're turning it back into a dormitory and vocational training facility for young people ages 18 to 24, where we're giving them all the tools that they need in terms of counseling and case management, financial management, that they can move into adulthood successfully, move into their own homes, and be able to sustain those homes with employment and skills and tools to raise their kids. And so we're very excited to have that online, which we anticipate will be in operation in early 2025 after construction is complete. If you're interested in learning more about the work that we do here at Springboard Community Services, I ask that you go to our website at springboardmd.org. And keep track of us. There are a lot of things that we're doing in the various communities. I'm sure we're doing things near you. We're on various social media sites and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And so, lots of exciting things to come.